walking, both feet are never lifted at the same time. This results in moments where both feet are on the ground, moments of double support. When running, both feet are never on the ground at the same time. Instead, there are moments where both are in the air, moments of suspension. In running as in walking, the step is the distance between two successive foot contacts, first one foot, then the other. In walking, it corresponds to the gap between the feet during double support. In running, no such reference exists. The animator must therefore estimate the step length, as no pose indicates it. Like walking, running is studied in 8 main poses, 4 per step. But instead of showing at least one double support pose per step, it includes at least one suspension pose. In both cases, any pose that is neither double support nor suspension is simply a single support pose. In a previous video, we showed how to make a walk heavier by increasing the number of double support poses. In the same way, a run can be made lighter by increasing the number of suspension poses. This approach yields 3 distribution models. The first model features 3 support poses and 1 suspension. The support poses are named landing, cushioning, and push-off. The suspension pose represents the peak phase of the movement, while the cushioning pose marks the low phase. Note that the suspension pose is horizontal. The second model features 2 support poses and 2 suspension. The high and low phases are absent from the main poses, but they reappear in the interpolation, meaning the in-between poses needed to obtain the correct cycle duration. As the main suspension poses precede and follow the high phase, the first is in an ascending position, the second in a descending position. The third model features 1 support pose and 3 suspension. The high and low phases return, but the path, nearly sinusoidal in the previous models, now forms a series of convex curves. The sequence of suspension poses combines the first 2 models. The first pose is ascending, the second horizontal, and the third descending. Varying the ratio of support to suspension poses alters the cycle's ground length. But, as we've seen, this length is just a number of positions distributed over a distance, and that distance depends on support duration. If we assume these models have the same duration, we observe that they all advance at the same speed and cadence. A few final notes. These 3 running models have a cadence of 2 steps per second, very slow. But running is defined not by speed, but by the presence of suspension phases, rather than double support. Such a low cadence also highlights a key point. A suspended body is subject to gravity. The longer it stays in the air, the higher it rises after propulsion. You can't increase suspension duration without increasing height. Newton's equations can specify this height. We will cover that in another episode, without scaring off the animator.